How's it going, everybody? I missed you so much. I have so sorry that I have not been able to do a video in weeks or practically months at this point. I've just been so swamped with work that I literally cannot do anything else. But since I am on break now and I have a little bit more time on my hands, I decided to do, as I've done with my previous 2 years, is do a Christmas video showcasing you guys just a little bit of what I got and giving you a chance to tell me what you got this year and tell me how you're celebrating your holidays. But since you guys are going to be celebrating with your families most of the time, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, and I'm just going to go rapid fire through this as quickly as I can. So, Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I'm going to have a small little announcement at the end of this video because I have a couple of questions I want to ask you guys that I want to do over the course of this break just to make this a little bit more fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with the games, I have Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth Premium Edition. I will admit I have never played Persona 3. I've only played a little bit of Persona 4 and watched the anime of Persona 4. And I will admit for Persona 4, I really did enjoy the anime for the bit I saw of it. I don't think I saw all of it, and I don't think I've seen Golden, or at least the Golden anime. So I'm really curious to see how this looks. I'm kind of curious about the whole art style they have for this one. I don't know if this would qualify as chibi style, but either way, I like the art style for this one, and I'm kind of curious to see what. Also, it kind of comes with a cool little 3DS case, and I just want to take a look at it and see what it has to offer. Next up is another game I really wanted to try out, is Far Cry 4. Now, I've heard some slight issues with this one regarding the story in terms of comparison between Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, and to be perfectly honest, the story wasn't the most interesting for me whenever I was playing around Far Cry 3. I did find Far Cry 3 rather surprising in terms of the open world environment because those usually are not my types of games, but with Far Cry 4 being set in the Himalayas, I thought it would be kind of an interesting locale to give it a shot, and so I just give it a chance and see what I think about it. Also, if I remember correctly, you get to ride on elephants while you storm a base, so that ought to be fun. The next one up for play is Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, I'll admit this right off the bat, I'm not the hugest fan of the Dragon Age series. I mean, Dragon Age 1, I never got a chance to finish around for because I got so bogged down with work when I think I was in, it was either late high school or early college or early undergrad that Dragon Age 1 came out. It's been a while. And so whenever I heard about Dragon Age 2, I played through that, and it was okay. It wasn't that great considering you were going back and forth between the same areas over and over again, and there just really wasn't that much happening within the terms of story of Dragon Age 2, but I heard some pretty good things about Dragon Age Inquisition, so who knows, maybe I might change my mind about this one. I've heard it looks really good, and the story for this one's actually kind of interesting, so we'll see how this one turns out. And the final game I have up for this Christmas season is Guilty Gear XDR Sign? No, XRD Sign. I don't know, XZerd or XRD. I have no idea how to say it. Yeah, so XRD Sign with the limited edition. So I like fighting games. I think they're pretty cool. And if I remember correctly, this is by Arc System Works, who worked on the BlazBlue series. So my guessing is it's going to have very, very good fighting animations. And if you guys want to play fighting games with me, just let me know. I'll have my PSN ID in the description bar below. So if you guys just want to fight me and have a good time, just let me know, and I always am up for a good fight. And you'll most likely kick my ass. Okay, one more thing that's sort of game related, but it's not an actual video game, is the actual soundtrack for Bayonetta 2. This is probably the biggest soundtrack I've picked up, or at least I've gotten since my Okami soundtrack, and it's about the same size too, about 5 discs for the entire soundtrack, which to me, I was like, dang, I didn't even know that Bayonetta 2 had that much of a soundtrack. I'm currently going through it now on my Wii U for the first time, just so that way I can actually finish it. I'm really excited by what I've seen so far. It's completely over the top, completely balls out insane, and I'm absolutely loving every minute of it. So, if you guys want me to do a review of Bayonetta 2, I know it's like super, super late after its release date, but if you want to hear my thoughts on it, just let me know. I can't wait to hear the soundtrack for this one, just to have it blasting in my car. It will be a blast, I'm quite certain of that. Next up is a comic section, and this one is really short, so I'm going to keep this to the point. So the first one I have up to go is Superman Wonder Woman Volume 1 Power Couple. Now, I was a little bit curious about the New 52 stuff with all the DC movie slate coming up, and I just wanted to see some of the more, I don't know, stories that, I don't know, make me a little bit curious about what's going on in the comic book universe, and just to see what's going on. And this one, to me, I felt like was the most interesting I saw out of the bunch. And if you guys have any other comic books that you want me to take a look at, I don't know, maybe possibly review it just for fun. I'm not super serious about the whole comic books thing. I mean, there's people on YouTube that are far more qualified to review those than I am. I'm more of just trying to see casual interest and see what it has to offer, and I figured the DC stuff with New 52 would be a good place to start. So yeah, there's Superman and Wonder Woman. And the other one, and this is one I do want to get seriously into because since I am a huge fan of this franchise and a fan of this character, it's been, geez, I don't know how many years. I think it was like in elementary or middle school when I read these things, and I was reading it as a kid in the 90s, but it's Sonic the Hedgehog from the Archie comic series, and this is issue 189. And the reason why I chose this issue specifically to pick up, or I asked for Christmas, is because there's a particular storyline in here that involves the Freedom Fighters and Scourge the Hedgehog. If you don't know who that is, you can look that up because I don't want to go into a turn and listen to a Sonic Wikipedia page. So, with that said, I really wanted to start looking into the Scourge storyline because in the future, when I do have my own studio or when I start creating games, I've wanted to make my own Sonic games, and I have a series of Sonic games in mind. And thanks to a subscriber of mine and friend of mine, Golden TM, he got me interested in looking into Sonic comics again. So I figured this would be a good place to start, and this is one of the personally recommended. So I can't wait to look at this and see what it has to say. So thanks, Golden TM, you got me curious, and that's always a good thing. The next big section that we have is my movie series, animes, and TV series, and all that stuff. And the first one that I want to start off with is the really big box set, is the Batman Beyond Complete series on DVD. Now, I will admit that I never really grew up with a lot of superhero shows. I mean, I never really saw Batman the Animated Series, and I never saw Superman the Animated Series, or any of the really big superhero shows that were going around at the time. However, one I do remember when I was around in middle school was Batman Beyond, and this is one I've always had a small attachment towards. And I have a simple question for Warner Brothers and DC. Why haven't you made a movie out of this yet? Seriously, like, this has a lot of, like, future tech gadgetry, and the Batsuit in itself is so cool. It just, this is, like, whenever people talk about Batman, a lot of people go to the Christian Bales, a lot of go to the Batman animated series, and a lot of people go to the Tim Burton Batmans, which are all good. I really do appreciate those by themselves, and I really do respect Nolan's films in particular, but ones that pops up in terms of animated format, aside from the Batman animated series one, just in terms of knowing about its existence, this is probably the only one I've seen in terms of knowing a decent amount of, like, the villains, like the Royal Flush Club, the what is it, the Jokers? Yeah, the Jokers, Ink, and Blight. Those are, like, villains I'm very familiar with, and seeing who they are in the Batman Beyond universe. And I really wish at some point, once DC gets underway with their movie slate, that they consider doing a Batman Beyond movie, because I would be lined up like nothing else in front of that theater waiting to see that, because that would be really, really awesome. And question is, who do you guys think would play Terry McGinnis? Go! Next up I have is probably one of my mother's personal favorite movies, and one that she recommended me seeing a lot, is Rudy. I have never seen this movie before, and apparently it's about a kid that goes to that wants to go to Notre Dame or something like that, and he wants to play football for it. Now, you guys could probably guess this just knowing me, is that I'm not a huge sports fan. In fact, sports mostly bore me, but this kid apparently had his own disabilities when it came to, I think it was like dyslexia, I think I was told. It was some form of dyslexia when he was attending school, and he wanted to play football for this team so bad, and it's supposed to be a really, really motivational, inspirational story. So, given what's been going on, and just having just morale just beaten over and over again to the ground, it's one of those movies that I think she picked this up for me just to have as a little bit to pick me up, so I thank my mother for that. Another one that I really wanted to take a look into, because I've never seen a movie from this man, and he is a legend when it comes to martial arts, and the only man to have ever beaten Chuck Norris, and that makes me put a smile on my face, is Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon. I have never seen this movie before. I know it is probably arguably his most famous movie, and I want to see the rest of Bruce Lee's movie. I really do love martial arts and how the choreography works, and how the physicality of just feeling every punch and kick, and just seeing how everything just comes together with a fight. It looks like an art form in itself in martial arts, and Bruce Lee is a true legend in that art form from what I've heard, and this is one I've really, really wanted to see. Just a quick question. I know that there was like a Bruce Lee collection that was done, I think, a year ago or several months ago, and I heard some controversy regarding the disc quality of the Blu-ray set for that one. So if you guys ever have that Blu-ray set around, just let me know. Is it worth getting? Is it not? Because I do want to check out Bruce Lee stuff. I just don't know if it's really that good of a quality, whereas I know this one actually pretty well is. So I can't wait to see Enter the Dragon, and tell me what your thoughts on it are. Alright, down to the wire with the last two sets, and these are going to be anime sets. And the first one I'm going to show you is one that a lot of people didn't think this was going to be coming to Blu-ray, but I don't know what it is, but I have every time when I think about a series that at that moment, it's one of those where it usually always gets announced a day or so or a week or so after I talk about it with someone. And this is one such case of A Certain Magical Index Season 1. And I've been wanting to take a look at this as well as Scientific Railgun, but I chose not to look into the DVD sets because I am one of those people that I'm not opposed to getting DVDs anymore, but if it's a show that I imagine is made within the last 10 years or something like that, I will not get it on DVD unless I have some really high suspicion that it will never come to a high-def format. And Magical Index was one I had a very, very high suspicion that it would come to. And not only did this come around, but actually I think Magical Index Season 2 Part 1 came out before this came out on Blu-ray, which to me makes no sense whatsoever, but whatever, I'm not complaining. And I think Railgun Season 1 comes out in February, or it's either January or February, I think, of next year. I could be wrong about that. So, yeah, I'm really curious about seeing Magical Index. I think it looks like a pretty cool world. I've never seen anything regarding it. It's just the little screenshots and images I've seen posted around Facebook and JList and all that stuff just caught my attention. I figured it'd be a fun one to look into. And the final set I have for this one is not technically a Christmas gift, but I wanted to showcase this one just because this was one that I really wanted to take a look into, and I feel like this is a classic in its own right and it deserved to be shown, is the Bubblegum Crisis original series on Blu-ray. And this one is apparently a fairly rare set because this was distributed by Anime Ego or something like that. I can't pronounce the name to save my life. And this is actually the premium box set, and if you were a backer for the Kickstarter, or if you paid the premium packaging on, I think it was either PayPal or some other forms to get one of these, you actually got your name in the slipcases for this set, and my name literally is in this set, which is really freaking awesome. I haven't opened this one yet because I thought about doing an unboxing video for this one. I also have an envelope, I think, filled with special patches that are exclusive to people who buy this set. So if you want me to do an unboxing for this one, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to do it, to show you if it's worth getting or not, and I'll do also a review on the picture quality of this well. So just let me know what you think about it. Alright, so that's pretty much everything in terms of the really small, or actually no, not really small, but the ones that I'm not worried about breaking. Because right now I want to show you three last things that I really want to show you, but I just can't move them because they're so fragile. I don't want to risk breaking them. So if you give me just one moment, I'm going to just cut away from here and show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright guys, this is what I meant originally when I said I didn't want to move them. These are three figures that I got for Christmas this year, and I am super happy about each of these because each of these have been on my hit list for a while. Let's start with the big kahuna himself right now is Supersonic. This is the first 4 figures edition of Supersonic. No, this is not the one that lights up if you're familiar with their stuff, and I really like the way he looks. I just have like the smile, the nose, the eyes, just everything about this one is just so well detailed, and it looks so good. It'll look great next to my actual Sonic figure on my desk when I ship this back at home to ship this back to my apartment back in Dallas. And the next one I have right here is Shiro from No Game No Life. And if you guys watch No Game No Life, this is probably one of my favorite shows I've seen in this year. It is so colorful, so beautiful, and the soundtrack is amazing, and Shiro is absolutely adorable. If I ever saw her in real life, I'd probably just give her a big ol' hug.
So there is that, and I just love the amount of detail on this particular figure. Now, for any of you guys who are figure unboxers on YouTube, I'm not doing an unboxing of this one and not going into detail. I'm just trying to show my appreciation for the series that I like and stuff that I like with the figures and the merch that I get from them. And the final one in here, and I'm probably going to have to move this one out a little bit just so that way you can actually get a better view of it, this is Momohime from Muramasa the Demon Blade. Now, this one was on my hit list for a long time because I really love Muramasa the Demon Blade. If you've ever watched my channel, you know I've mentioned it probably a few times already. And so I just figured this is, since one of the only figures of it in existence, I wanted to get something of Momohime because she is pretty damn awesome. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a roundabout shot, just a little bit of just what she looks like, just the detail in her little flowing action, and it kind of leaving her a stand of foaming water and stuff like that, just jumping on it. It just looks really cool. It has a couple of like removable parts such as the hands, the swords, and all that stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a brief look at the figures and see what you think about those.
Now that I've gotten all that out of the way, I do want to address something real quick. Like I said before, I apologize for not being able to do any videos these past few weeks and not being able to maintain a consistent schedule. It's just been so busy for me dealing with work and trying to get things underway. But since I have a little bit more free time now and have a little bit better schedule in hopefully the foreseeable future, at least for the next year or so, hopefully, I will try to be a little bit better in terms of managing my time and managing my schedule in terms of what I output. And the thing is, though, I want to consistently do a video that you guys will want to see, and I need to address series that I have left hanging and have been left out to dry that I haven't really done in a while. So I'm asking you guys right now, what type of videos would you want me to do? Do you want me to continue doing reviews like I normally did? Do you want me to continue Anime Journey reviews? Because I know I did have one for High School DxD, had one for No Game No Life, had one for Hunter x Hunter. I never got to finish any of those, which really ticks me off. Had one for Lane, and I want to address these problems because I want to have a full-fledged recap and review of these series, and I want to be able to discuss them with you in an open manner and an intelligent manner. And so I just want to make sure that I am outputting content that you will enjoy and make sure that everyone is having fun while looking at it and looking into it. And I just wanted to say thank you so much again for commenting on my videos still throughout these past few weeks, messaging me. It's really been just a pleasure to see comments, everyone. I try to respond as many as I can. I mean, if you've seen every one of my videos, you know that I will comment on almost everybody. Those who are very respectful, I try to treat them with respect back. I don't try to treat them like an idiot. It brings a sigh of relief and joy knowing that people are enjoying my stuff, and I want to continue doing that, and I want to continue having fun while doing it. While at the same time, while I do YouTube, I have a couple of my own personal projects that I'm going to start doing or want to start doing at the start of the next year, and hopefully will be done by the end of next year. So we'll see how that pans out. So anyways, if you guys want to leave down your suggestions of what types of videos you want me to see me do for the foreseeable future, just comment below, let me know what you think, and I hope you guys have a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas, happy whatever celebration you have during the course of this year. And if you guys want me to see me before New Year's, just let me know. And until next time, guys, I'm Perry the One-Up Legend, and I'll see you later.